The Osun State Governor Adegboyega Oyetola on Monday said only members of the APC would take his cabinet or would make his cabinet. He was sworn in 9 months ago, just so you know. Enough time to birth a team, especially as external debt has hit an all-time high of 96.6 million naira in 2017. Well, I still have my guests in the studio, Kayode Dayo and Francis Chilaka. I'll just go straight into it. 9 months to put together a cabinet. I mean, that has broken Mr. President's first tenure record and added 2 extra months on it, or 3. So one would wonder why it would take this long. Is it because of financial constraints? What exactly would it be? Because if you do not have a cabinet, that means that your economy is somewhat grinding to a halt.
No, well, Osun State seemed to be notorious for this. Adegboyega did the same thing. He went for almost a year plus or so without a cabinet. But you see, we need to understand leadership and governance. Governance, a good governance actually starts the very day you are elected as a governor. The very day you become governor-elect. For anybody who is contesting for an election to govern people, the moment you are a governor-elect, automatically you should know people that you'll be able to work with. You don't have to wait 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. You say you're still searching for people to work with. What
if, I'm playing the devil's advocate just so you know, what if the people he knew or thought he knew would be able to fit into his plan
is it not the same?
somewhat changed in the space of 6 months? It is the same people
that helped him to get into power. There is, see, it's a simple thing. It's just unfortunate that we have no system working in Nigeria. Ordinarily, the National Assembly, working in close concert with the State Assembly, should enact laws that says within this period of time, a governor should be able to submit names of commissioners. Now, let me tell you also, do you realize that for every approval a governor has made without commissioner, without a council, is an impeachable offense? But it's unfortunate that we have state houses of assembly that have become puppets to the governors. They do not know what they're doing. It is totally wrong and unacceptable. You're talking about Osun State. How many state governors in Nigeria today have appointed their commissioners?
Some have too.
You see, let us look at it from where we have real leadership playing out.
Okay.
An example is what just happened in Great Britain.
So you're saying that we have no real leadership in Nigeria?
I'm coming back to that place. I'm coming back to it. I will come to it.
Is that what you mean, though?
Well, you are insinuating it. Okay. The issue now is this. When, what's her name?
Theresa May.
May was resigning. He went to the Queen, my Queen. He now said, okay, who is taking over from you? He said, well, this party has brought up their leaders. Okay, call that person for me. Sworn in. Without any aggro, without spending a dime. Now, he went to the platform in front of the Downing Street, number 10 Downing Street. After all said and done, he said, don't mind what is happening behind that black door. I will appoint people that will work with me, but notwithstanding, the buck stops at my table. That is a leader. For whatever it is, give it to Babangida. After all said and done about June 12th, he said, rather than me hitting the polity and mentioning their names, he said, I was the president then. I was in charge. I want to be responsible for everything. Okay? But all of us, we could see all that he did at that time, the institutions that came up, and those people that he used to bring up those institutions. When Osun State Governor was coming up, during the primaries, they say, he's a technocrat, yes, it's this, he will do this, he will do that. At the end of the day, he got to power. What has he used with that power?
But you know that there are people who
9
say
months,
that it's
9 months, you are not saying.
But there are people who say that it's easier to preempt a government from the outside until you were
wait now. Look at what somebody of his caliber is saying, as if is oh my goodness, telling people of Osun State that I'm going to appoint only from APC. Is it governor of APC or governor of the state?
I'm sorry.
Listen, even if he's going to appoint only from APC, he's not supposed to be saying that.
Please listen. That is not the first time. I mean, it's like saying that President Buhari is going to pick somebody from the PDP to be part of his cabinet. This is what it is in Nigeria.
And that's where leadership comes from. Look at this man now. Look at, what's his name in America now? Trump. Is he not having people from other parties in his cabinet?
Well,
these are leaders. Do you understand? Even when you want to bring up people only from APC, you don't say it out. You don't say it out. Let people read you. Look at our president. Whatever it is, he has never come out to say, I'm going to bring up all my security issues from one section of the country. But he was doing his thing. Even though people were criticizing, why should somebody of his caliber? Now let's come back to that 9 months without commissioners. What is the Constitution saying about commissioners? Are you supposed to have commissioners, or what is he even calling them? Supervisors? In the Constitution, we have commissioners. So for you even having supervisors for special ministries, you have breached the Constitution.
Do we have a Constitution?
Well, I was about to ask a question. We have so many laws that address every single thing, almost everything.
The Constitution mentioned...
Just hold on, please. How powerful is this law? How powerful is the Constitution? And do we even obey the law?
The problem with our country is that the Constitution is translated by who is in power at that point in time to suit his own agenda. And that's why I have always said that what we have today that we call a constitution, that document should be shredded. We need to have a constitution for us that every one of us can be proud of. How many Nigerians have had opportunity to read the Nigerian constitution?
And yet you're asking for it to be shredded.
Yes,
how many of us are interested to even ask that those people who represent us come together, ask us what we want and how we want, if we want a new constitution to be drawn up? How many Nigerians will be interested to show up for those town halls? And I'm not making
I appreciate you for saying that. I appreciate you for saying that. And my brother, that is the problem of we Nigerians. Number one, we don't read, we don't research. Number two,
that's a bit too generic. I think Nigerians read when they want to.
A higher percentage of us don't read. Okay, let me say, don't read what concerns us. Tell a Nigerian, put people together. Chief executive of the BB companies, ask them how many of them is even having a copy of the Constitution. Not to talk of. There was a time one policeman accosted me, but that very day I just want to make myself lively. I said, "Okay, why are you stopping me?" I said, "You are stopping the wrong person." No, I just turned my hand to the back of my car, the seat at the back, and now brought out one booklet. Know your right with the police. I said, "Sure, you see." In our house, are you a lawyer? I said, "Why do you want to know?" I said, "But because I know my right. Nothing. You can't." He became my friend. So the issue is, the moment the policemen, our leaders, even our so-called leaders, knows that you and I, we know our rights, then they will play ball. There's one thing in that constitution, there's something in the constitution that people are not even looking at. The issue of social contract.
Which is true.
She was saying something now that tended towards it. That are they want to tell us what they want to do and all that. You know, I told you something just like that. I've been inviting you for a chat and all and that. Our leaders, they will come to us. This is what I will do. This is what I will do. This is what I will do. Are they not our servants? When you are employing your housemaid, is your housemaid? Is it your husband that will tell you, "Madam, this is what I will do, this is what I will do"? Or you that will say, "This is what you must do, this is what you must do"?
That was the reason why I asked that question.
So the issue is, we Nigerians, we have never been able to see it, and that is part of the things I'm now educating people with. Let us go to that constitution and bring out that issue of social contract. Let us, at least, if you are Igbo, I'm Yoruba, you are Hausa, we have a common goal. And that common goal is what we call national identity, to ensure that this program is successful. That's a common goal.
I think
whether you are anything,
no, this is where our problem lies. Our problem lies where we all come together. When it comes to critiquing governance, everybody's looking at the presidency.
And it's beyond that.
We forget that the state governors get monthly allocations. The local governments receive allocations. How many people are asking for accountability from these two tiers of government?
And those are still social contracts.
So we need to start from the basics. No. We need to start from saying, look, it is high time that the Nigerian Constitution, or whatever they want to call that document, is taught in secondary schools, taught in higher institutions.
Like in other places.
We need to come to a point like where, even in churches, every Sunday, every Friday at the mosque, the pastor, the imam, the alfa should take time to explain some portion of the Constitution to the people.
Oh, yes.
Once the people have knowledge,
yes,
they have power.
They have power.
So the problem is that those who have been entering governance have actually worked in such a way that the people don't know. All they do is they give you what they want you to have. And that is why a governor can sit down and embezzle a state to zero and be dancing.
But my question again, in case I probably didn't get across to you the way I wanted to, are we not the ones fueling this? Because if we took it upon ourselves to concern ourselves with governance and government in itself, we would probably be able to ask the right questions and hold our leaders accountable. But then it seems like we resign to fate and let them do whatever. So are we not part of the problem? I'll give you 1 minute each because we need to go.
That's exactly what I've always been saying. After all said and done, is the problem of the people. Because we have allowed the so-called, in quote now, leaders, who are supposed to be our servants, to pauperize us, to diminish us, to the sense that we now become so tired towards asking them questions. But then, it's never too late. It's never too late. There are a lot of people out there that are well knowledgeable. Those of us that come around to talk on the television and radio and all that, we should take it beyond there. Let us go to their houses. Let us go to town hall meetings. Let us organize town hall meetings, not the one that will be chaotic, and then educate ourselves. Let us even go to our little societies in the church, in the mosque, and explain, even on WhatsApp groups, let us put it upon ourselves. Okay, today, let us even see what is in section 2, subsection D, so, and then we look at it. Like the issue of social contract I spoke of just now, let people go to the constitution and check for that social contract. What is there? What can we use this social contract for? How can we bring out this social contract to be able to make our life better?
Francis.
Well, for me, I would always say this, that the problem of leadership in Nigeria lies with the people. Elections are over. Everybody has gone to sleep. Nobody's talking about voters' card. Nobody's talking about voters' education. And each time I say this, I say we have an organ in governance, the National Orientation Agency. These are people who are employed by you and I. They are collecting salaries every month.
From our tax.
They should be on the street now, educating people on good governance, educating people on their rights to elect good leaders. Nobody is doing that. The men of God who stand on the pulpit should make out time to educate people on their civil rights. Nobody is doing that. Then, a month or two to the election, boom, we start talking about voters' card. Voters' card should be a continuum. We should stop this idea of people queuing long hours, to get their voters' card. Everything has gone
haywire.
Electronic. We should be able to take advantage of it. So I do not understand why we are still behaving like people in the cave.
Are we not?
No, we are not. So for me, I think I would say this.
Not.
We have another less than 3 more years to another election. This is the time for community leaders, associations, faith groups, begin to educate people on leadership. Nigerian youths, please, I beg you people, get involved in the electoral process. Have your voter's card.
And that way we can ask for good governance.
It is then we can be able to say, if you have your voter's card, you will be able to vote in people with character and integrity.
All right, well, we have to go. Francis Chilaka, political analyst, Dayo Kayode, political technocrat. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a very, very heated and very interesting conversation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
All right, we'll take a break for our Plus package, and when we return, I'll be giving you my take. Stay with us.
The Nigeria Customs Service has stated that it intercepted various small goods worth over 1 billion naira and arrested 14 suspects within the last 6 months. The controller of the Federal Operations Unit Zone B, located in Kaduna State, Sakin Kebi Mohammed, made this known at the Kaduna State capital as the command paraded several suspects alleged to have been caught in the act of smuggling. Mohammed said over 150 vehicles, over 8,500 bags of rice, bags of fairly used clothes, vegetable oil, used tires, and illicit drugs, notably tramadol, were intercepted as the unit made over 623 seizures. While warning the smugglers to stop the act of sabotaging the nation's economy, he said the command is braced up for any challenge.
The smugglers are becoming more notorious. And not only that, they have so much money to get information about the customs. Have a lot of informants that they keep every day so that they monitor our movements. And not only here, even in the field. But the customs activities generally now is intelligence driven. So we too have our own ways of dealing with them. We made about 623 seizures. We arrested over 153 vehicles. The foreign parboiled rice is about 8,647 bags of 50 kg. We were also able to apprehend about 1,035 jerry cans of 25 kg of vegetable oil as well. The duty paid value of all these things we have arrested this year is about 1,050 million naira. We also have a total of 14 suspects so far. All successfully prosecuted 2. Another 3 or 4 are already in court.
It's time for my take. First things first, the army chief asking for soldiers who are traveling across the country to do so in plain clothes because, they're afraid that, police officers might harass them. I'm wondering to myself, how is this a solution to the problem that is on our tables right now and right in front of us? 3 policemen were shot dead. The army is saying they're investigating. The federal government has said there's been a committee that has been set up to deal with the issue. But should the army be asking their officers to dress in plain clothes? How does that solve the problem? And I'm thinking, when an issue comes up, it should be addressed headlong. And I'm not trying to tell the army or the police how to do their job, but if the police had to go on social media and create a hashtag to ask for justice for their officers who have been slain, does that not show that we have a serious problem in this country? And what a time for this to happen when we already have so many issues to deal with in terms of insecurity. And of course, asking that the president do something or say something, I don't even know if that is going to help. But whatever needs to be done, please let it be done, because we cannot afford to have a state of chaos in this country, adding on to what we already have to be dealing with every single day. Moving on to Osun State and the governor. Well, in the case of Ralph Adegboyega, it took a year for him to set up a cabinet. And now his predecessor, or rather the man who's taken over from him, is now taking 6 months. And even after 6 months, nothing yet. He's instead decided to have supervisors. He's appointed supervisors to work. And I'm asking myself, is that not even against the constitution of the state? But Do the people of Osun State even know what the law says about this? And have they really decided to ask for good governance? Whether you voted for APC or PDP or LP or whatever party, he's the governor of your state. It is time that we begin to hold our leaders accountable and let them do what they need to do. Because whether we like it or not, the economy, the productivity of your state is hinged on the people who run the ministries, the departments, and the agencies. So every Nigerian who's out there, you need to start holding your leaders accountable. Don't say it's not my business, so I'm not a politician. Governance affects us all, one way or the other, even down to the man who sells pure water. So let it become your business from today. I'm Maryann Okon, and it's been Plus Politics.